You will own nothing, and you'll be happy. Does this line ring a bell? The Great Reset's propaganda is terrifying, and Elon knows what the people behind the World Economic Forum are up to. The Prince of Wales and the head of the annual Davos Summit launched an initiative calling for the pandemic in June 2020. They want it to be seen as an opportunity for what they refer to as the Great Reset of the global economy. The forum's literature makes it clear that the Reset's agenda is not about simply returning to business as usual. It envisages a fundamental remake of the global economic system along more sustainable and equitable lines. A flashy launch video interspersed with images of a world in turmoil, a dead killer whale, a hurricane, and a kangaroo trapped in fire caught the eyes of millions of people all over the world, and a lot are not happy with what they saw. The video features Prince Charles talking about the need for a great reset of the global economic system in order to build a more sustainable future, while Klaus Schwab, the forum's founder and executive chairman, hails the reset as an opportunity to rethink capitalism. Klaus Schwab describes the three basic objectives of the Great Reset, inviting all countries and sectors to participate. 1. The creation of stakeholder capitalism, which will replace shareholder capitalism. The idea of this system is that companies will work for the common good rather than immediate profits and benefits alone. 2. The construction of a more resilient, equitative, and sustainable system based on environmental, social, and governance metrics, ESG criteria. And lastly, 3. Harnessing innovations innate to the fourth industrial revolution for the public good, nourishing greener, smarter, and fairer growth. There are 7 keys to the Great Reset, namely the following. 1. Harnessing the innovations of the fourth industrial revolution. 2. Drive the development of sustainable business models. 3. Redesign skills for the digital era. 4. Strengthen and fund sustainable development at the regional level. 5. Revitalize global cooperation and multilateralism. 6. Restoring environmental health by minimizing global degradation. 7. Give shape to a green economic recovery. By concept, all of these things sound great, but what does it really mean? The Fourth Industrial Revolution is a term used to describe the rapid changes in technology that are transforming our world. It is the fusion of the physical, digital, and biological worlds that is rapidly changing every industry in every country. This is the first time in history that we are seeing such a rapid and fundamental change in how we live, work, and communicate. Some of the technologies that are driving this change include 3D printing, artificial intelligence, robotics, and big data. The Great Reset is about harnessing these technologies to build a more sustainable, equitable, and inclusive future. The problem is that people behind the Great Reset are the same people who have been publishing for globalism, Agenda 21, and the UN's Sustainable Development Goals. In other words, the Great Reset is a Trojan horse for socialism. The real agenda is to use the pandemic as an excuse to centralize power and control while eroding our freedoms and liberties. The World Economic Forum is a powerful organization with close ties to the UN. Its annual meeting in Davos is attended by a who's who of the global elite, including world leaders, CEOs, celebrities, and the super rich. The forum's founder and executive chairman, Klaus Schwab, is a self-described globalist who believes that the world is moving towards a new world order. In his book, The Fourth Industrial Revolution, Schwab lays out his vision for the Great Reset of the global economy. He says the pandemic represents a rare but narrow window of opportunity to reflect, reimagine, and reset our world. The Great Reset may be a plan by the elites to seize control of the world's economy in the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic. It's being endorsed by some of the world's most powerful people, including Prince Charles, Bill Gates, and George Soros. It's easy to dismiss the Great Reset as a pie-in-the-sky scheme of the rich and powerful, and there are more reasons why people aren't too keen about it. The proposals, along with the WEF itself, face legitimate criticism from a variety of sources. Conservative political leaders and media organizations have accused the group of attempting to implement economic-busting environmental policies. There's a debate about whether unelected individuals like Schwab should have the power to advocate for concepts like that, if implemented, may significantly alter the global economy. The World Economic Forum's annual gathering in Davos is certainly chock full of prominent personalities who have a significant impact on global events. However, the real concern for their agenda is not about legitimate political questions, discussions about fossil fuels and income equality, but in the shape of wild and unsubstantiated claims. Some speculate that the Great Reset is a strategic part of a grand plan by the world leaders who somehow planned and managed the COVID-19 pandemic. It may be possible that the lockdown restrictions were in place not to curb the spread of the virus, but to intentionally bring about economic collapse and a socialist world government, albeit run for the benefit of powerful capitalists. But is this claim too far off? It could be, but it's definitely one of the possibilities. During the global pandemic, nearly 500 people became billionaires, 493 billionaires to be exact. In other words, there was a new billionaire every 17 hours since Forbes last took a look at the billionaire wealth on March 18th, 2020. This is significantly more than the 290 billionaires gained in 2015. Meanwhile, there's a rise in unemployment. This was caused by an unprecedented loss of 22.1 million jobs between the months of January 2020 and April 2020. WEF repeatedly claims its intentions are towards the betterment of humanity. But can we really trust the same people who earned billions of dollars during a crisis that left millions jobless? It's interesting that Elon Musk, the world's richest billionaire, and an advocate of free speech, isn't part of the WEF. As a matter of fact, his actions to purchase Twitter may jeopardize the platform for the Great Reset. He bought Twitter because he believes in free speech. And if the Great Reset is anything, it's an attempt to stifle free speech and control the narrative. The oligarch's grip on media and information is loosening following Musk's purchase of Twitter. Many more will learn about the Great Reset, the concocted pandemic, and all the other lives we've just been fed on the media. It's only about time we will witness the tidal wave of justice as it beaches the Great Reset agenda. That is precisely why the major media are taking such a strong position against Musk. You hear them frantically but incorrectly attempting to connect Musk with the WEF. And once again, the media is portraying a narrative that would lead people into doubting Musk's intentions in acquiring Twitter. Musk tweeted, "I hope that even my worst critics remain on Twitter, because that's what free speech means." It is evident that Mr. Musk's actions are a direct threat to the plans of the oligarchy. He's a man who stands for freedom and liberty, two things that are not on the menu for the Great Reset. David Beasley, the UN World Food Program, has been informally contacting Musk on Twitter, persuading Musk to contribute to the fight against world hunger. Elon Musk responded to Beasley's challenge by saying he has no problem donating billions of dollars to the World Food Program. He would sell $6 billion of Tesla stock and give it to the program. However, it's only if they can provide information on how they plan on spending the money. Eventually, David Beasley stopped the challenge with Elon Musk. But recently, at the World Economic Forum, he said he's ready to talk to the tech billionaire in detail about what he's planned. We can see that Elon Musk has no problem sharing his wealth for a cause as long as it's put to good use. Elon's been actively working to find sustainable energy sources, reduce pollution, and even colonize Mars to make mankind an interplanetary species. In fact, it's not far-fetched to say that Elon's efforts over the decades have been to improve humanity's quality of life. One of Elon's biggest contributions to the world is changing the electric vehicle game. We all know that the greenhouse gases contribute to global warming, and Elon's been replacing gas-consuming vehicles with environmentally friendly, emission-free electric cars, which is a clear win for the planet. But even with his evident efforts and results, Elon Musk has lost his ranking in the S&P 500 index, dedicated to companies excelling at environmental, social, and governance issues. Elon expresses his disappointment by tweeting, "At SPG Global Ratings has lost their integrity." The billionaire complained that oil giant ExxonMobil, a company that has been at the center of controversy over the claims of climate denialism, was included in the top 10 for ESG. Meanwhile, Tesla, an electric vehicle company that's trying to wean the world off oil, was not even on the list. In frustration, Elon also said ESG is a scam. It has been weaponized by phony social justice warriors. In another tweet, Musk expressed his opinion, yes, stop the outrageous false ESG assessments where Tesla gets a bad grade, but an oil company can get a good grade. Total gaming of the system. From this example alone, we can already see that the SG system is not about actually making the world a better place. It may be another way for elitists to take control of the masses. A platform where free speech is encouraged and not censored is what Elon Musk is trying to achieve with Twitter. This only means we need to be careful of the leaders we put in trust and not take everything at face value. But before we end the video, I'd like to ask you this question. When was the last time you read an article in the New York Times or Washington Post that criticized the US government's handling of the pandemic? If this video gave you a new perspective, please hit the like button. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more thought-provoking videos like this. Thanks for watching.